Hi, everybody. Y'all, let's try. I'm always like, be really serious until like X amount of seconds into the video. And it never happens, y'all. It never happens. I'm cracking up because I wish you could see the stand that me and my ancestors, I'm going to say me and my ancestors, they're constantly like, we told you to invest in X, Y, and Z equipment. And I'm just harebrained and I forget, you guys. But anyway, it's funny because I'm always trying to adjust this stand. And it made me think of... Sorry, guys. I got to get my dog together really quickly. Go. Go, go. Go. Go on. Go. Anyway, you guys. No, I was just laughing because... it's like when you go to the dentist and they keep adjusting like the lamp thing. Y'all, it's probably not even that funny to you. You're like, okay, and so what about it? But it was the way that I was doing it. It's kind of a vibe like, let's laugh about something so we don't cry. No, I mean, I'm kind of joking, but honestly, I'm kind of not. And listen, happy full moon in Pisces to you, by the way. The full moon in Pisces peaked. I'm on the East Coast in the U.S. And so for me, it was last night between like 9:30 and 10. So we're definitely going to be feeling that. I don't know about you, but yesterday was just it was something else. And it's funny because Piscean energy, obviously, you know, a full moon and a water sign is going to amplify the emotional, my emotional body, emotional resonance, emotional vibrations, whatever needs to come up and out, whatever, you know, needs to do what it does and be felt. It was just something else yesterday. And it's so interesting because I was going to say Pisces, and yet here I am still fucking with this camera. I need room to, guys, I hit the camera enough. Like, I need room to shuffle the cards, okay? Or I'm going to hit it more than I already do. RIP to anyone watching this who has vertigo or struggles with motion sickness. If you do one-on-one with me and you know, and I'm constantly apologizing, like, I'm so sorry. But it's just very interesting to have a full moon in Pisces and have such a different dynamic. For example, I really feel that there's a potent energetic buildup even 24 hours before the full moon is at its peak. And then like 24 hours after the peak to me. And then it kind of even has, you know, a ripple effect on the energy of our bodies, our emotional bodies, psychic auric bodies. All the bodies, right? It's like a ripple effect. Sometimes you'll feel it for a few days. But like for me, yesterday was one entire dynamic. And today has been, you know, it's almost lunchtime here. Today has been a very different dynamic. And isn't that just part of, it's funny because I was going to say, this is a full moon that's all about honoring your emotions. Because I was going to say, isn't that how we honor our emotions though? You know, because what is it like, interesting as well too, because it's been very, stormy, like rainy weather, not terrible storms, you know, but just steady rain leading up to, and I was kind of thinking, well, you know, shit, beautiful supermoon, in, the moon's orbit, you know, in the moon's movement, she's going to be as closest to Earth. And this is number 3 out of a sequence of 4 supermoons. Man, I don't want to talk about all the memes that are like, this is the only super moon that has been for hundreds of years. You guys, please support your astrologers and people who study this, and please just don't go by memes. Look, I'm not going to derail, okay? Whoa, Mercury, look, sorry about the light. Handy dandy writer, he's a ride or die. He said, look, stay the course, move forward. I'm not going to derail. I drew 9 of Wands in my own personal reading, actually. But let me not get off Mercury retrograde and myself on a tangent. about how people sensationalize. Can we get this light right though? How people sensationalize certain things based off stuff that's not even factual in astrology. And I hate that because we get a bad rap. But anyway, you know, you're going to be a critical thinker and you're going to be responsible for your own knowledge and what you do with it. You know. So, Siege, look, my ancestor child, what were we even talking about? Let me focus. Yes, so what is interesting is that we were having a lot of rain, and I was kind of thinking, oh man, it's such a bummer. Like, oh, I want to see. It's a bright, you know, it was going to be a bright, delicious, beautiful. Even if, like, let's say, oh, it was raining, or I got too tired, I passed out, you know, by the time the moon was really out there in the sky. Even if you were going to get up the next morning, like this morning, very, very early morning hours, oh my gosh, it was just going to be a beautiful, big, delicious, juicy Pisces, you know, blue moon. And yeah, it's a calendrical thing. There's actually 3 different ways you can have a blue moon. It's not only, it's just a Gregorian calendar thing. Although this one is a blue moon because of the placement in the Gregorian calendar. But there's other ways that we can have cycles where we have 2 full moons. So whether you prescribe to, you know, the whole, I don't really get down with the whole, oh, it's a blue moon, fine, to each their own. You know, I'm not mad about sprinkling some additional magic on any perspective. I mean, how can that be bad, right? But what I think is interesting, hold on, I'm getting somewhere with it, is that honoring your emotions is very much like, you have to go through the stormy part, the messy part, the watery part, the part you may not know if you are in control of, Spirit is saying, or not. And you have to go through that. And what is really beautiful is that I was watching for a day or two, you know, and I'm working on my normal stuff I got to do. Got packages going on. You know, the normal readings, the charts, preparing for my full moon group. This normal stuff I do, right? And then yesterday, I was just super emotional, and that's fine. I oftentimes kind of have to fight me to me with myself, with my schedule. And when you're really in a spiritual world, in service to other people, this is your purpose. I'm saying you do this every day. You know, it's kind of like, imagine a nurse who has to admit that she has a virus and has to take off time to serve, to let her body do what it needs to do. You know, she's like, I'm a nurse. I take care of everyone. I heal other people when they are sick, etc. Right? And it's hard. But yesterday I was really emotional. I had to make space for that. Everything just really kind of, it's funny because inadvertently sometimes you'll, notice that it happens too. It's like your ancestors, your guide, your higher self will kind of come through and they'll say, this is another aspect. We saw the 9 of Wands flip out because yes, 9 of Wands is very resilient. Listen, you know, stay the course. You're adaptable. You're flexible. I understand you're tired. Maybe you need to take a break to let some things bleed through right now. You know, it's a wounded warrior type of card. And it's not like you're not going to get up and pick your sticks up again tomorrow and complete your walk and your journey through to the 10 of Wands to close out this cycle. Of course you are. But it's more that sometimes even the warrior in that Rider-Waite card needs to kind of stop and prop on his damn stick for a second. He's like, I'm tired. You see all these wands I've been standing out here in front of. I'm either guarding or, you know, this is what I've built thus far and this is what I've had to carry. You know, and the 10 of Wands is kind of like I'm going to the top of the hill to finally reach the destination so I can complete the cycle. So sometimes we need those days, especially on a Pisces full moon. And listen, it is more amplified and intense, for sure. That's not as some people would like to say, woo-woo. And I don't care, you know what, because I love woo-woo. So I don't care about all that. But I'm saying it's not woo-woo. It is a literal, has to do with the way that the magnetic fields and the pull and the water, you know, which you are made 50 to 70% of in your entire body. So it does affect how you feel. And that is also connected to your emotional body. So yesterday it was like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to take a bath. The packages aren't getting done today. And this is rare for me. I'm adamant, have a lot of air and fire. I like to stay the course. I like to do the things, and generally just have a lot of energy anyway. So, yeah, we had to call it. It's like calling the game due to weather, right? And you have to honor those emotions. And let me tell you what was so beautiful is later on in the evening, the night is settling down and I'm kind of, wow, what's flipping out? Look, Ryder does not play. He has been through it. He has seen it. We done seen all the things together. So when he's ready to talk, he talks, and he will just be throwing out cards. And as of course, it's not for nothing that we have the Eight of Pentacles alongside of the Queen of Cups, because it's literally what I'm saying out of my mouth right now about, but you don't understand. I'm committed to the soul purpose and I have to do the work. Okay. This is the Saturn conjunction with the moon that everyone's talking about. It's like, oh, you're going to feel this. This is Saturn over here, in Pisces. This is Saturn and Virgo energy with, also a full moon in Pisces, and the Queen of Cups is like, yes, okay, I'm not saying everything that we're working for is not valid. Duh, of course, why else would we be doing it? But I'm saying I need a break to honor my emotions. Because, and that's what it was. But what was beautiful, and I did do that. I actually ended up putting work on pause. You have to, for the sake of your spiritual, mental health, and hygiene. But as I was doing my animal rounds this morning and the things that I have to do, I'm usually up very early in the morning. I really wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't awake enough yet, but I wasn't really thinking about the moon as I was rubbing the cracks of the sleep out of my eyes and, leashing dogs and getting ready to go for a walk early morning. And I was thinking, hey, it's not raining. And when I walked outside, you guys, literally, can we angle it? Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Literally, the moon was so fucking bright, it stopped me in my tracks, and I was like, me and her, we had a moment. I was like, oh, there she is. There she is. She is so beautiful. And on whatever spectrum I was thinking, I was walking the dogs and I was just kind of expressing gratitude, to Gaia and the universe and everything and saying, thank you. It's just for something so simple as the fact that I took time to honor my emotions as we do. Again, the full moon is conjunct Saturn, and Saturn is like a gut check. Saturn is and it's really the only thing aspecting this full moon chart. Let me just tell you, it can feel heavy. It's like I'm getting real. Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Pluto is still retrograde. I'm currently in Capricorn, getting ready to move back into Aquarius, but it is a gut check. And maybe something, the Queen of Wands is, who knows what she's staring at, and maybe it's an alabaster box, maybe it is a censer, maybe it's who knows what, maybe it's a treasure chest or a divination tool, but dang, she's staring hard, right? Because maybe in her beautiful intuitive space, in her gifted heart chakra, many will say that the Queen of Cups is only second to the High Priestess as being the most powerful seer in the tarot deck. And a lot of people don't talk about that. But the power of the Queen of Cups is in her emotions and in her heart. And that's what connects her to the pulse, Spirit saying the rhythm of her intuition. It's a very powerful card for intuition, for divine feminine, for priestess energy. But it is rooted in the, I love to say, the rooted and opened heart chakra, heart space. And, who knows? I mean, and maybe some rose-colored glasses done got snatched off her face real quick, and she's kind of sitting. This is me with me. This is reality. You know, there's some big magical, but maybe also heavy ethereal energies going on for this Queen of Cups. You know, an Eight of Pentacles over here is the very concrete Virgo energy that's like, you know, we have a duty, we have responsibility, we have a purpose, we need to get organized. And Saturn, Lord of Karma and Time, and kind of Big Daddy, you know, this is your ancestors, this is the boss, this is you with you at the table. You know, kind of getting shit into perspective. But regardless of all of that, we still have to honor and make space for our emotions. And it was just a really beautiful moment this morning, you know, and it was so, man, it was just so peaceful, so quiet. And, you know, going back to the whole, it had been raining and kind of going through the storm of processing messy things that are emotions you don't know if you can control and things that are coming your way, right? Because what's really nice, of course, you know, if you're in the sunlight, you are looking at, you'll see a rainbow after a big storm, right? It has to do with what's going on in the sky scientifically. But if you've ever seen the sky either at night or in early morning before sunrise, after it's really been raining, it's like a different level of clarity. And so it almost made it more special because I, quote unquote, went through the storm, you know, in my emotional body, in letting whatever was repressed need to be released or whatever needed to be felt. It made me appreciate the beauty, and just seeing the moon and seeing the moon and the simplicity of just how beautiful it was, how bright it was, how big it looked, and everything. You know, it's like a different level of gratitude for it. You know, and so all that to say, the full moon in Pisces is it's very emotional, and I think that we can be thankful. Again, Eight of Pentacles is really making me feel the Virgo vibes, because it's very much, I'm doing something of my purpose. It's kind of that Mirakai. What I do in my life that I pour the essence of my soul into. Maybe that's raising children. Maybe that's the career. It can be more than one thing, you know, because some people have a career and it's very important to them. They also have a art or a hobby that they choose, and a lot of that's their sole purpose. But I'm saying it doesn't have to be, oh, this is how I make money. You know what I mean? And then sometimes in cycles in our life, Eight of Pentacles energy is like, I am the project. It's me. I'm the creative endeavor. I am what I am putting my discipline and my soul purpose and my commitment into. Maybe it's your spiritual path. You know, Virgo season is very like, embodiment in the body. Hygeia, I can't remember, I was talking to someone and after watching a teaching lesson about her placement and just talking about Ceres and Hygeia and, you know, the fall, like Demeter and Persephone and all these things. So Hygeia comes up and we were talking about how it has to do with Virgo and it traces back to your hygiene. But Virgo is how's your body? Check in with your health. First and foremost, let me tell you something. On this altar space may be very beautiful, but your divine altar, which carries, you know, your soul spark, you're the divine essence of the I am, but you're walking in this body, and that it is pretty much a temple. I mean, it's not pretty. It is. So how are you treating your temple? Right? Because that is where the four elements come to the crossroads originally and unite with spirit. So how are you doing with your body, your health hygienes, how the home, the place, the space that you live in makes you feel, is all this, along with Virgo season, along with Saturn conjunction, are really appropriately represented by Eight of Pentacles. But I love, again, that the Queen of Cups come right on up in here, talking about, yes, and I agree, you know, Daddy Saturn, quote unquote, you know, gatekeeper. Okay, but I got to feel my feelings. You know, so it's a lot of amped up, it's just big energy. And we feel that in our body. And it is about how you perceive that. And again, it just, I go back into my head about how, like, again, yesterday was so different and it felt different, and there was mourning and there was grief and there were things that were just, there's a stimulation and that magnetic connection. Then I had a conversation with a friend about how it feels to be activated and activations versus downloads. And we were talking with each other about this whole reference about, like, you get all the light, you get all the electric, the voltage, the stimulation. A lot of times in the springtime, in the summer, the late summer, where you go through all these high holy days and the sun and the early harvest, all these things, Egyptian and other cultures, right? We got all this incoming light. And you could maybe imagine it that if your body is 50 to 70% water and you have these molecules of water, right? Maybe they have these little packets of light in them. It's like, we were talking about a zip file. And we were like, how you get a zip file and you get the email, and the email's like, you got a zip file, and you have to click on it. And then if you don't have the program to open the zip file, then you have to get that. And then you have to run the program. And then once the zip file is installed, then you open the zip file. And then after that, maybe you can actually run the program, right? So we were just kind of talking about how, when you have these big magnetic stirrings, pullings, ebbs and flows, right? And the supermoon is a big one. It's like the pot is being pulled to swirl, and then what's going to happen is these electric packages are going to be stimulated to open, and so you're having these emotions that need to leave and say, oh, a new package is being opened. We need to what? We need to make space for it. So we're going to grieve, we're going to let go of emotions, and now we've created a cleanse. Remember, after the rainstorms, you go, wow, I can see the full moon is way brighter now. That's because there was space made in the atmosphere. I mean, don't get scientific with me. We could break it down differently. I'm just saying. You get what I'm saying? There was space made for it. And so now it's kind of beautiful. It's like a beautiful, sunny day here, and we are still definitely full on in the ebb and flow of the Pisces full moon energy. But there's space to feel, for me personally, because I'm going to tell you, this could be hitting on a wide spectrum, and it depends on where you're at with your shadow work, with depressed, repressed emotions, with old cycles of karmic and toxic, maybe lessons, relationships, or it's like, have you been doing the work? You know what I mean? Because it's going to hit on a totally different spectrum. But for me, what I'm saying is, like, today was so different for me because I felt like I had made space. And then today it was like so much more magical, so much more bright, so much more, it felt more like, ooh, we could, what song is Spirit saying? When you wish upon a star. You know what I'm talking about? Makes no difference where you are, right? I could receive the energy differently because I had made space by allowing myself to say, you know what, I need to grieve. One of my really good friends, she ingrained this habit of this phrase in me. You need to feel it to heal it. And you know who you are if you're listening. I love you. Sorry, excuse me. I was taking a water break, but we cannot build. There's South Carolina, y'all. We can't build. No, we can. Guys, I've had like so much corporate training. Thank goodness. Some people seem to like when y'all talk like that. But anyway, listen, build. How are we going to make space to tell the universe, to send out the ping, to send out a different, more calibrated frequency of what we're ready to receive? If we can't make space, that's like ordering a bunch of new furniture for your house, but you haven't, hello Virgo season, right? But you haven't cleaned out the clutter. How are you trying to order new packages? You can't open the boxes that are sitting out on your patio because you haven't made space. And in order to make space, we have to admit to ourselves what is ready to die and be let go. And then we have to feel it. You know, I tell people in one-on-one work all the time, okay, Queen of Cups, also Eight of Pentacles, because you can Eight of Pentacles it all day long, and you can set up a ritual, and you can do all these intentions, and you can burn something every full moon and be like, I've done so many release rituals, I can't. That's because, hello, Queen of Cups, you haven't felt it. You got to feel it. Because there's something to be learned from the trigger. Spirit is saying there's something to be learned from that frequency of emotion. You know, and it's healthy to express those emotions. You know, things keep coming up in my feed, and I was just reading an article yesterday, actually, and child, I'm glad you wasn't there to watch me dance, because listen, I don't know. I can be. Listen, I'm just not the greatest natural dancer, but this whole thing kept coming up is like synchronicity, right? The whole somatic release. And, excuse me, all these different practices, Native people, Indigenous people, and all these different things. It's not just that, but all kinds of different things, and tapping and all these different somatic release of, you know, because once again, Queen of Cups energy, she's she's very connected to the water, and she's in the ebb and flow. We have to be able to honor and let go of the emotions, because I tell people yet again in one-on-one work, we talk about how if emotions, if trauma, if woundings are just pent up, pressed down, bottled up, repressed, repressed, right? And your emotional body is not being cleansed, cleared, honored, allowed to recreate its vibration anew. It goes through cycles, right? It's beautiful. Please always drink a lot of delicious, good quality water, but that's for another day. We're going through cycles where the emotional body and all the waters in your body, etc., want to release. Okay, so they can be charged with new frequencies and make new space. But when we don't do that, that bleeds into our endocrine system, our hormonal system, our lymphatic system, all these different things. And you will have health problems. You'll have mental health problems, depression, anxiety issues. Because you got to clear those waters. You know, so somatic release, put a pin in that. It's been coming up a lot for me. I'd encourage you. You probably heard about it, but it's a really good way to think about, well, I'm honoring my emotions. I've really got something that's very, very stubborn. And you guys, you know what? I speak on the real with you, because I have had some, I'm burning lavender, by the way. It's a great smudge. And a lot of times you can get lavender aplenty, and it's more sustainable than other things we might smudge with. But it's great for a water element full moon. Or work with lavender as an essential oil, or in bath, right? But this is what I'm smudging with. So I'm saying I understand, because we could sit down and we could comfort each other. And I've dealt with very legitimate trauma. And I'm not trying to wear that as my identity. I don't claim it like a badge, or I'm not trying to have a crush or anything like that. I'm just trying to relate with you, So I get it. Somatic release is great. It's a good thing to read into when you have, some of that really tough, sticky, Spirit saying, like sticky, stuck energy. Kind of showing me like spider webs when you're trying to get it off your arm. That's a great way to kind of aid in the vibrational release of some of that stuff that's stuck. Definitely, obviously, some points that we want to mention. Again, I want to reiterate, the only thing aspecting this full moon is the Saturn conjunction. And Saturn is in Pisces. And so it very much is and the full moon is in Pisces. So it's like we're in these different timelines. This may be manifesting wow, I think I'm really ready to level up to the next frequency, to call in, to experience in real time that new timeline of my life. And Saturn, full moon in Pisces is going to say, absolutely, let's dream it. Let's do it. Let's feel it. Let's vision it. Neptune is also in Pisces and is in retrograde. We would love to assist you in the ritual work, the dreaming, the vision work. You know what I'm saying? To call that in. But now Saturn in Pisces is going to come around and say, can you do the sustainable work to hold down this reality that you're calling in? And you know, all this Taurus energy that Uranus, Taurus, we could talk about Jupiter and Taurus. And I think by next week, both those are going to be in retrograde too. But let's not talk about retrogrades. Saturn in Pisces is going to come around and say, I would love for you to inherit the best and most highest good, you know, on a vibrational level, on a frequential match, this timeline. Of course, it's you with you. I'm with you, friend. We with the universe. I am that I am. You're the I am. I would love to bless you, but I want to make sure that it's in the bounds of what you can sustain. Are you emotionally mature enough? Have you been doing the work? Have you been responsible with your energy? You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes in preparation for that, right? We kind of got to get a few, myself included, a little bit of, hey, looks like you still got a tiny bit of rose-colored glass on this eye. We're going to go ahead and snatch that off for you because we want to make sure you can inherit this timeline. And it will get snatched. But listen, Virgo season again is a dutiful friend and a great assistant in saying, you know what? I know what you do know. You do know what your discernment tells you. This is Hermit season. We know how to kind of stay in our own lane and use this beautiful, magical, inspirational energy to our advantage to infuse, well, first to, you know, maybe clean up and declutter ourselves, our bodies, our living spaces, to maybe refresh, to maybe then sit down and make some lists and tie up some loose ends. Because look, Mars is in Libra too. And you know, Mars in Libra is a very much like a, let's sit down and talk about it. Let's let you know, because Mars loves to act. Mars is about to get inspired, and Mars wants to run out the door and do all the things. And Mars is divine masculine, and they want to say, how can I fix it? Because I'm ready to fix it. You know what I mean? So Mars is in Libra too. So Mars is in Libra is even like, you know what? Let's sit down. We're going to involve some trusted opinions, you know, maybe consult with a few friends, or maybe do a little, whatever it is, you know, we're going to tighten up this. We're going to make a list here, and it's good. It's okay. I've purged. I am honoring my emotions, and I understand. I feel you, Saturn, gut checking me on a few things, but I'm here for it. You know, with a lot of Neptune and Pisces, okay, energy, and then shadow Saturn can really, we can turn on ourselves, shadow Virgo, shadow Saturn, we can be criticizing ourselves pretty hard. And we don't want to do that, although we want to be realistic. We don't want to kind of revert into spiritual bypassing, you know, because it can get heavy. Woo, because I'm here to tell you yesterday was heavy. I mean, you know, it's heavy when I'm shutting it all the way down. I got to shut it all the way down. My guide said, my higher self said, me crying in the shower said, I got to shut it all the way down today. So, me to me, you know, Queen of Cups. She's staring so hard at this. What is in there? I feel it. Are these my downloads? You know, is this my old version of my heart? I don't know. She's staring real hard, but that's okay. She still has her crown on, and she's going to flow with it. You know? I'm just kind of looking at the chart, you guys. You know what I do like, though? I like that Jupiter is trine Mercury, and then soon we'll be in a conjunction with Uranus. I like that because that's a lot of insight for us. And we're in a blue moon. It's kind of like a moment, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm totally aware of how to embody this now. You know, I am dreaming, or maybe it's like I have a vision, but it's not covered up with certain illusions anymore. And that's another thing too about a super moon that is in Pisces, you know, because Pisces will bring a lot of illusions down, especially in a conjunction with Saturn, especially with so many things that are retrograde. Listen, it's not a bad thing though. I told you about that in the other video, but I like it. It is very much like, you know what, that's okay. I can face that truth now and let it be what it is. I'm ready to face it. It's either going to get cleared off the board and it's going to teach me a fucking lesson, I'm going to grow from it, or it's going to bless me. Ain't none of that bad either way, right? Jupiter trine Mercury. about to get ready to conjunct with Uranus. I see the truth and I'm good with it. I can take responsibility with my actions. You know, I'm not trying to, again, spiritually bypass. I'm grounding, I'm embodying, I'm holding a vision. It's a very strong energy, right? So, you know what? What are we at? 35 minutes? I don't know. Rider-Waite said he was done, but it's a heavy one. It's an emotional one. Listen, it's a magical one too, though. There's a lot of truth. There's a lot of, I realize I don't have to be attached to this from the past anymore. I realize that I'm growing in strength in my discernment. You know, I'm going to tell you one thing though. Let's all be kind to each other. Definitely, this is a time for dream work. Absolutely, 1,000%. And pay attention to what's in your dreams. Or you might be like, look, I'm not really a vivid dreamer. So if you meditate and you start having like this, let me just say, I saw this sacred geometry, or I heard something so clearly, whatever it is, right? In the astral area, maybe that's meditation for you, like shamanic journey. You know, I walk in nature, I listen to drums, and I kept hearing. It's very similar, right? But really pay attention to those messages right now. And also look, as a side note, I'm not going to derail and go off into the retrogrades, but it happens every time this year that we have this many outer planets in retrograde. It's natural on the wheel of the year. It's natural on the zodiac wheel. Yes, we do have a little bit of extra sprinkled retrograde energy, but it's nothing crazy. And look, Mercury retrograde is going to be done. Mercury is a fast mover. That's your quicksilver. It's going to be in and out. It's going to do what it needs to do to open up your crown and your third eye, and it's going to move about its way. So don't be stressing about nothing. But I'm saying use your discernment. Stay grounded. One of my teachers was saying, this is very much a like, you need to stay in your own lane energy. And I like that. That's not negative. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing to nobody right now. Be in your own lane. You know, I will be the first one to tell you, be about your own business. I'm about my own business. I'm over here decluttering. It's feeling good. The sun is on my face. I'm processing. Maybe I would definitely say salt baths. Any way you can work with water right now. And you're just about your own self. You know, because look, Venus in retrograde still in Leo, you know, it's the big, as you would say, a spin the block energy. But we're not worried about it because we're over here healing, looking good, you know, taking care of our bodies. I'm too busy. I'm jogging. Like, I'm doing my yoga, and then I have X, Y, and Z I got going on my house today. I bought these beautiful candles for my altar. I'm about to do some cleanup. You know, I'm going to be doing some journal work. I'm doing me. I'm in my own lane, and it's good, and it feels good for me. And then what will happen is, beautifully and vibrationally, you will hold your own energetic boundaries, because the things that want to, oh my gosh, where did they go? Oh my gosh, they're not responding anymore. Oh my gosh, I can't get a reaction anymore. Oh my gosh, I'm needy. I need to cling to you. Can you feed me? You know what I'm talking about? Feed me. Spirit said, feed me, Seymour. No, it's fine, because those vibrations can't even get to me. And if they do, by some freak way of, Spirit said, a test to see if you want to hop back on the other karmic wheel. I don't know where that came from, but maybe it was for somebody. No, I'm good. You know what? Healing, getting healthy, taking care of my body, you know, looking at my beautiful harvest. I'm over here in my lane is fine for me. So I'm good on the DM. I'm good on the message. I'm good on the third missed phone call. Oh, what's that? Somebody's talking about I can't get in touch with so-and-so. And that's fine, because I'm exactly where I need to be right now. Right? But I would encourage you that you have emotions that want to come out. They need to be felt. This is the moon to do that. So please trust your discernment. Please trust your intuition. Because you don't know what's on the other side of all of the crying, all the letting go, right? After all those rain showers, got to see that big, beautiful supermoon in the sky, and I wasn't even thinking about it. And it was just so beautiful, but I couldn't have appreciated it in the same way. So, all right, you guys, you know what? I got to get into my full moon readings for the month, but take it easy, everybody. Be kind, stay grounded, use your discernment. uphold your energetic boundaries and do that release. Okay? Love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I look forward to talking to you soon, okay? Bye.